Hi guys, so today I look different and I'm coming to you slightly annoyed. I actually got my pre-order on time, everything went well in the album perspective, and then I came here to film this video and my memory card is physically broken, like the plastic has actually started to break off it. I mean, I have had it for about a decade. So now I'm filming on my phone, so if I look weird, this is how ugly I really am. If I... the angle is definitely not the way I normally would have it set up, whatever. I'm making do because I am getting an Epica review out on time. It's happening. So, hello everybody. Let's talk about it. The elephant in the room. I pre-ordered Omega and I got it on release day and I've listened to it all week long and I'm here to talk to you about it. So, here she is. Stunning. I have the 4-disc edition, which, oh, surprising, Vicky has a 4-disc edition. So this is what the front looks like. Oh, you can see my light shining. Don't mind that. And this is the back. It tells you kind of like what's on each disc. Then when you open it up, I'm going to cover myself up here. You can see that you get the album and the acoustics on the first 2 discs, and then you get the instrumental and orchestral versions in the last 2 discs. And fun fact, my orchestral and instrumental discs are labelled the wrong way round. So when I put in the CD that says instrumental, the orchestral versions are actually on the CD and vice versa. So if you've ordered this edition, let me know if you also have that same weird misprint issue, because it's kind of like fun that I have an odd edition where the discs are labelled wrong. Kind of makes it a little bit more special, but at the same time it's like a bit confusing because I kept putting in the discs, getting it mixed up. So yeah, anyways, so that's what you get. I'll let you have a look at the pages as well because mine's a book. So, can I open this up on a random page? Yes, I can. So you see, this is a picture of the band. Then there's lyric pages. Yes, that's a lyric page. And so, this is a lovely thing to have. It's a beautiful edition. I'm very happy with it. I pre-ordered this and it was around, I think it was £46. And then the price went down before it was released, so in the end I got it for around £36, so I saved like £10, which is amazing. And I didn't have to pay delivery, which unfortunately if I was to order through Epica's own site or like a lot of the other sites, I would have had to have paid quite a lot in delivery just for this CD. So I ended up shopping with Amazon, which I don't like to say because I like something in our household, we're trying to not use it so much. But yeah, so I have it. It is mine and I love it. This album, the actual Omega album, the disc, has 12 tracks on it, and obviously I've listened to them all week long. I wanted to get a good few listens in before I came to review it, just so that I kind of knew a little bit more what I was talking about. So I've wrote some notes. First things first, obviously I watched all of the vlogs that Epica put out leading up to the release of this album, which made me very excited. I heard a lot of rumours of this was going to be like if Requiem for the Indifferent and the Quantum Enigma had a baby. And I kind of get it. There's a few bits and pieces there, a few elements of that, but I do think it's definitely its own thing. Obviously it's very Epica. I mean, obviously I'm listening to it, but I do think that it's its own kind of sound that's a little bit different, not in a crazy wild way. I just think that you can tell that this album has its own personality, and I think that's something that Epica do every time, and that's why there's such a diverse range of favourite albums from the fans. Is I think each album does have its own distinct personality. This one is definitely an album where the band have played a lot more around with like what instruments can we get in the sound, what new voices can we bring in, and they've kind of, they've tried to keep it very Epica but also mix it up and change things around a little, and it's worked. It's beautiful. Like, I have no bad thoughts about this album really. Like, I mean, I do have, I guess, one slight criticism, but it's not really a criticism, and I guess I'll go for that now, is that I think this album is not as heavy as I thought it was going to be, just with the rumours of what albums it was going to sound like, but not in a bad way. Like, it's obviously, it's still very metal, it's still symphonic metal, it's still that Epica sound. I'm not shocked. But I do think I would have preferred a couple more slightly heavier tracks just added in, you know, the kind of tracks that Mark Jansen would be the one to announce they're about to play when they're at a gig, because he loves this. Now it's time for something heavy. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of a lighter tone to even the heaviest songs on this album, but I still think that it's a good, solid album. And I mean, I'll get out of the way now. 5 out of 5 stars. I love all the tracks. I'm going to listen to them all the time, other than obviously the intro, which I always skip. But I did listen to it a few times to get the review, because, you know, then it's a fair review. And it's a good intro. Like, it leads into the next song lovely. It's great. But I'm just not bothered about it, and I'll probably never listen to it again now after all of this. Another thing that I'll probably never listen to again is the instrumental disc. I kind of skipped through it and listened to a couple of tracks here and there, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. Obviously, I've said this multiple times in all my other reviews when I've got an instrumental disc. I don't care for them. So if you expect me to talk about that a lot, it's just instrumental versions of the songs. Great, nice thing to have, not bothered about it. So the actual album Omega, let's talk about that. If I got the one disc edition, it is a beautiful all-round sound. If there's something that Epica does really, really well, is that they create an audio story and they take you on the journey with every single album. And I was there. I could feel, you know, the changes in the pace, and I think it was very well done. Like, every track was in the right order. I didn't feel like anything was jarring or taking me out of the, like, illusion, the fantasy. And I went on the journey with them, and I think that them looking into this kind of trying to become one with yourself feel was there. So I'm just gonna have a quick browse of my notes so that I get all my points out. I think that one thing I will say for this album is every single song on this album had good, catchy, standout choruses. Like, that was a note that I wrote for pretty much every song. Oh, great chorus. But that's, Epica have perfected that in this album, that every single song you get to the chorus and you're like, bang, yeah, oh yeah, this is a really good, catchy song. So I think that's the biggest strength of this album, other than obviously it being such a put together sound, is that chorus is very strong on every single song. Not that the verses were particularly bad, again, but I just think that every single song, the chorus stood out as something that would stay with you and keep in your head, and you'd instantly recognise that song as soon as you heard that chorus. So I applaud them for that. I think that's a really strong point to have as a band. You know, the chorus is the bit where everyone sings along, really, in theory. So I think they've made a real good effort at choruses this time round. I think that's the strength here. So, anyways, my favourite songs right now are probably A Bit of Time, which was the first single, and I think it was a great way to kind of get that feel out for the sound of this album. And Synergize. I really like Synergize. That sticks out to me. Gaia sticks out to me, and Freedom. But then my actual number one favourite song, which I think is shocking and surprising for me, is Rivers. I never liked the ballad best. Like, I like ballads, obviously, but I'm not a big ballad person. Like, I like it to get heavy. They're usually my favourite songs are kind of on the heavier side of Epica's repertoire. But Rivers, I'm obsessed. I listen to it every day, and multiple times. I just sit and watch the music video. It speaks to me a lot right now, and I think that is something that Epica have really kind of cashed in on, and not in a, like, they're just, you know, cash cows or anything, but I think that's something they've done really well, is they've captured the sound of this kind of strange time that we're all going through with the pandemic, and Rivers just speaks to how I've been feeling recently in a way, and it's it moves me, and I'm getting a little bit emotional just thinking about it. That song really just resonates with me right now, and I'm obsessed with it, and I don't care if nobody else likes it, but it's very popular from what I've seen, so I'm not strange in that sense. But yeah, that's my favourite song, and it's my favourite song on every disc, because, you know, there's different versions and things. Rivers is my favourite song on every single disc, every version. I am obsessed. The actual original Omega version is my favourite, but the a cappella version is gorgeous. Like, it just takes you straight into that vocal. The only issue with that, though, is you don't get the choir of children on that version, which I think does make it a little bit weaker, because the children really bring out that sound and that feeling. Like, I never, like, I don't care usually for when children sing. Like, it's not really like my thing. Like, I'm not interested. I tend to find it a little bit creepy, actually. But in Rivers it just works. Trust Epica to make me like a choir of children. So yeah, I'm obsessed with that song, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm probably going to listen to it again after making this review, because I've talked about it so much that I want to now. The song that's in my head all the time, though, which is kind of weird, is Freedom. Like, the wolves, all the time. I'm walking around my house, I'm, you know, going for a walk outside, my head's just like, choose between hungry wolves. And it's in my head all the time, so it was a good choice for a single, because it definitely sticks with you, and I understand why they picked that one. So yeah, I'm really feeling it. I think Simone's vocals have been stunning. Like, some of the tracks, I'm like, oh, Simone's vocals really stand out. And I think the orchestral and the acoustic versions of the songs just really let Simone throw her vocals out there, and you can really see what she's got going on, and that's a lot. And the people who think her voice has got weaker over time are just wrong. They're just wrong. It's, oh, there's so many layers to it. She's got such a rich tone now, and it's, oh, it really, yes. I think this is one of Simone's strongest vocal performances. I'd probably say, like, this and the Quantum Enigma are probably her best two for me. Yeah, gorgeous. Like I say, Rivers, it just, oh, I'm genuinely still emotional just thinking about Rivers. I'm obsessed. I have a problem. One thing as well that I think that Epica have really brought into this is they've brought a lot of influences in there. Like, you can hear that they're trying different things, and you can hear it in songs that they're trying influences from, like, different cultures, particularly in, oh, it's left me, Code of Life. Yes, thank you, notes. I knew I'd write it down. Code of Life, which I think would be a fantastic song to double up and do live with Fools of Damnation. Just saying, I think that they've got the vibes, and I really like it. I think that'd be a great double billing if they were to do those live. Just saying, Epica, if you want to take my advice. I'm sure they're not even watching. Another thing that was very exciting was that there is another part to Kingdom of Heaven on here, and I think as an Epica fan, you hear those three words, Kingdom of Heaven, and go, yes! And this did not disappoint. It's great. It's obviously one of the longest songs, it might be the longest song on the album, just gonna double check. It is, and it's worth all 13 of those minutes. It's great. It's a wonderful up and down journey. Like, even within its own, it's kind of like its own little symphony, which I think is something that Kingdom of Heaven always does really well. So it does not disappoint there. As soon as you heard that they were doing a part 3, I'm sure that we were all kind of waiting for that one. Yeah, I love it. It's great. And there's no weak points on this album. There's some songs that I like better than others, and there's some songs that are, you know, if you told me you have to skip one, pick one, I guess I could pick the intro, just do that. But, you know, there's nothing bad. Every time I've listened to this, I've never felt a moment of, oh, that was disappointing, or anything like that. I have no complaints. Again, I'm extremely biased. I'm a massive Epica fangirl. We all know this. But I'm not disappointed. I'm so happy that I own this. I'm so happy I got this huge, ridiculous edition as well. I don't know where it's going to live. My Nightwish Decades, that's as big as this, only just squeezed onto a shelf. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this just yet. I'm going to have to move things around and hope that I can squeeze it in somewhere. But I love you, and I'm so happy you're in my life. The artwork is beautiful, and there's some great photography in here. I'm going to just skip to a particular page that I really like, which if you saw my Instagram post, you probably already know what page I'm going to. And I've just realised what song the page is that I'm talking about. Obsessed. It's the Rivers one. But this photo of Simone, I'm obsessed with it. And this, can she get any more beautiful? Can this woman get any more beautiful? All these photos are just Simone telling me how ugly I am. But yeah, like, I mean, the theming, the artwork, the imagery is just all there. Am I getting everybody in? Don't want to miss anybody. I love every member. And I'm just so happy with this. I'm so overwhelmed. One thing that I think as well that when I was listening to the more so the orchestral and the acoustic discs, is you can hear how much fun the band were having trying new instruments and trying new things, and that really speaks to me. I think something that Epica have really got going with this particular lineup, not that there's any issues with any other lineup, but I think this lineup in particular, they work so well together and they have so much fun together, and you can hear it. You can hear that they're a really cohesive band together, and that speaks to me a lot. I really like it. I think there's a good bond between them, and that translates. But yeah, I'm very happy. I have obviously lots of Epica songs to listen to now. I think when you're listening to the orchestral versions of the songs, they do sound a little bit incomplete because it is just straight up the orchestral, you know, we've just taken out the elements of metal of the song, and there's no Mark in there, so there's kind of like gaps where you know that Mark would be growling, but it's been taken out, so that's kind of a little bit but I can get along with it fine. Like we've had versions like this before, it's nothing new. They had so much fun with that acoustic disc. The last song, which I'm not going to pronounce because I don't want to offend anybody who actually speaks Spanish, but Simone singing in Spanish, great. Like, that was lovely. That was a really nice addition, and I think that's something that a lot of fans will really appreciate, because I know that they have a lot of fans in the kind of countries that would speak Spanish. So kudos to Epica for trying a new language. I don't know if it is new to Simone, but it's just great. I wish I could speak Spanish. I wish I could speak anything other than English, but I know odd French words, so that's kind of it. So yeah, but this album is just a showcase of what a band can do when they've got nothing standing in their way. Like, there was no tour in the way, there was no obligations, you know, you've got to go and film this, or you've got to go and see this. Because of the pandemic, they just literally got to sit down and write, they got to concentrate on making this album, and you can feel the love and dedication that the band put into it. I'm going to put this down because it's obviously weighing on me and I'm going to smack myself in the head with it. But yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm very happy that I actually got an album when it was supposed to come out. So I'm hoping I get the same look with Evanescence's album, which I have on pre-order too. So stay tuned for that in a month's time. Yes, I think it's the end of this month it comes out. So please give me it on release day so I can get a review out reasonably. But let's talk about this album. What did you think? Do you have the same feelings as me? Probably not, because I'm very biased. And I can admit that. That's fine. You know, I don't think an Epica album's going to come out that I'm going to think is bad. Even the albums that are not my favourites, I don't think they're bad. I just don't think they're as good as my favourites, you know? So yeah, hopefully this video doesn't look too horrendous. I'm going to watch it back, and if this goes on my channel, I guess I've deemed it's okay. But, you know, I'm making the best. I've got a phone, I've got a light, that's gonna have to do. So yes, thank you so much for watching. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm fangirl Vicky on there. I'm trying to talk about a little bit more, you know, I'm trying to keep my posts a little bit more varied, because I went through a huge makeup phase, but I'm still kind of obsessed with makeup, and it's kind of the thing that calms me down every day, keeps my kind of anxiety in check, I guess. So, you know, expect a little bit makeup-y, but I am trying to talk about other things too. So, hopefully I'll see you soon. I know I have another video coming up that I have planned, but I'm going to try and get my memory card before I film that one so that I can film it in the correct definition. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!